Why? Because the Superstar Space Poster has arrived, and in just a few seconds, your television announcer is going to give you my address and tell you how to get it. That's right, Superstar Billy Graham is in outer space with all the stars and all the planets. And at last, a poster that is truly original, combining the mystery and excitement of space with the power and force of muscle. And look at my new tag team partner, a saber-toothed tiger. Now, you know you can never pin the superstar in the ring, but now you can pin me to your wall and watch your room come alive. Now, here's your television announcer to tell you how to get it.
Just send $5.95 plus $1 for postage and handling to Superstar. Post Office Box 5238, Phoenix, Arizona 85010.
What volume from 135?
135,000. What price are you at?
It's like I'm blind. I can't see what's going on. I don't know what the market price is. The way they used to deal with it, if you needed something and you needed it now, it could take you hours, days.
When did the price change?
The real price?
What is the real price?
Irmi, quanto è la borsa di Chicago?
What is the real price?
The price was hidden, and it took an incredible amount of work to dig it out. Enron Online will change the markets for many, many commodities. It is creating an open, transparent marketplace that replaces the dark, blind system that existed. It is real simple. You turn on your computer, and it's right there. And if you want to do business, you push the button. That's our vision. We're trying to change the world.
Welcome to Surfing for Seniors, an introduction to the Internet. If you're not comfortable with your computer, you may need to play this tape and practice many times. The mouse is made to fit in the palm of your hand. Rest your hand on rounded top and push. You will see how the pointer on your screen moves around. It works similar to the game that you find at fairs, supermarkets, department stores, where all of the toys are inside the glass case. You have to maneuver the claw to pick up the toy inside the case. Since you cannot reach your hand inside the case, you must use the tool by maneuvering the lever. A mouse is somewhat the same. You can't reach inside the screen to move things in your computer, but you can use the mouse. Treat the mouse button as if it were hot, sort of like the potato in the game Hot Potato. You want to get rid of it or release it as soon as possible. Click them once and let go. Don't hang on them. It's time to find out how to get to your server. No, your server is not the waiter or waitress at your favorite coffee shop. The Internet is a huge collection of data which people have taken the time to enter into computers. If someone has not put the data into a computer somewhere and made it accessible through the Internet, you will not be able to get the information. It's the same as walking into the library and asking for a book. If the library does not own that book, they cannot lend it to you. No matter what subject you might be interested in, you're sure to find some tidbit of information about it within the Internet. In this program, we have chosen to get some more information about an embroidery style called Swedish Huck. First, let's type in embroidery and see where we get. Once you have typed in your subject, click on the search button. At this point,
Hello. Okay, that's too big. That's too big. Face cam's too big. How's it going? Can people hear me? Oh, yay! Hooray, hooray, hurrah. So I was trying to stream a video, trying to play a video game over on Twitch, and for some reason it just totally crashed everything. So I don't know what. And now like the Twitch streaming thing, like it won't show me my webcam anymore. So I'm not sure how to fix that. This is gonna be. So, but we're here. We're cool. I'm going to just be drawing. This is a thing I was working on. Actually, it's turning out quite well. Stop by, say something, please. Every time I do this, nobody comes by to these. That's why I don't do these. Listen, people are openly talking about leaving Twitch, and if they do, I don't want to be. Okay, testing. Can you hear me? I mean, I like a fuller sound, but you need to hear my voice for some reason. I probably need a better mic at this. Can't afford a better mic at the moment. I should go back to my wireless one. That was a lot better. Also could do with better lighting, I guess. Okay. God, I breathe so heavy. That was loud. There. I have a bigger book that we'll switch over to in a little bit, but this is good for right now. I mean, because I chose to do it in the small book. My reference here. Is this unfocused? Damn it. How are people? Ugh. Ooh. Oh, hey! Yeah, I am. Opus, is that you? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of proud with how this one turned out. Oh, I assumed it was you, but I was just making sure. So, I don't know what's going on with my Twitch, the Twitch streaming things. The Twitch streaming thing. Suddenly, it's just, nothing is working on it anymore, and I can't access it, and, like, there's no camera or anything, so I don't know what's happening with that. Try and figure that out later. But I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you here. I don't know. Yeah. Am I following you on here? 3 starter home concepts. Subscribe. Now I am. So there goes my plan to maybe start playing video games after I finish writing. That was a freaking disaster. By the way, you have one video, yeah. 3 starter home concepts. I'll give it a like. Did that bring back memories? Unfortunately, response is latent here. I don't know how to turn off low latency on here, so we're just gonna have to live with that. Not a huge fan of it. You know, if you want to just hop on voice chat, feel free to. Or yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the low latency that happens on YouTube, and I'm not sure how to turn it off. But no pressure, by the way, no pressure. So I just watched a video about what was I watching? Oh, right, about this Spider-Man fan film that came out. Spider-Man Lotus. I always love like the obnoxiousness of the I don't know. No, I get that. I 100% get that. I 100% get that. Yeah. I love the obnoxiousness of like certain fans that, oh, because they read the comics, they know 1,000,000% how to make the movie better. It's did you hear the rest of the revelations about it? It's not. Also, the guy is super. Most of the cast are super racist, and like immediately a bunch of DMs leaked of them like screaming the N-word like at each other. And yeah. Anyways, that's always my opinion about fan film people. Is it especially? Yeah. And then the movie turned out to be bad and cheap anyway, so. Which isn't necessarily a big knock against it, but they were really obnoxious about how much better their movie would be, so. When you compare, like, your, like, movie to their movie, and it's like, well, mine's gonna be so much better, and I'm like, okay. So you want us to compare, like, your, like, cheap fan-made production to their multi-million dollar production? Sure, we can do that. Yeah. Stay in your lane, buddy. Stay in your fucking lane. Anyways. I'm probably going to have to uninstall and reinstall a bunch of the software to get it to work again, because I have no idea. I've tried turning it on and off like several times, and I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Anyways. Oh, what can I say? Star Trek Tiberius, but that got him. Oh boy, that got that dude in a lot of trouble, though. Yeah. Well, part of the problem is he was trying to profit off the movie. Like, Paramount for years had this whole thing where it's like they kind of just looked the other way on Star Trek fan films. Yeah, it's fine. Like, they just looked the other way on Star Trek fan films, and like they're like, like, we're not seeing anything. And then it's like the guy was like, well, yes, but also I'm going to try and profit off of this. And that kind of screwed everything up. There's some good. There was a recreation of like the original series that was quite good in that they kind of nailed the look. Yeah. I don't know. There's a tiny bit part of me that, yeah, fan films are fun and all, but there's a little bit part of me that would have much rather preferred, like, those guys just put their money into, like, an original, like an original indie film. I'd much have like an original indie, like a cool original indie film rather than like a fan film. Sorry if that sounds mean and that, but yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know. Can I tell you my D&D idea? Of the campaign I'd like to run, or maybe at some point. Yeah, exactly. Like, I would love it if some, like, guy out there just made their own independent, like, sci-fi movie inspired by Star Trek. Like, I would much prefer, like, that, because that would expand. Okay. So, this is sort of inspired by the Fallout games, but maybe I'll make it a little bit more original. Just so we don't have to, like, keep to lore. But anyways. So basically, it's this. Let me explain more. So the Fallout universe is about a post-nuclear war that happens in between America and China, and it takes place after the apocalypse happened, and the people are, the survivors. To save themselves, the survivors hid themselves in elaborate vaults under the earth. Yeah. Exactly. And there's so few like low budget like Starship show movies. I don't care if they're low budget. It would be charming, I think, even for a low budget crew to attempt to make a like Star Trek like movie. Okay, anyways, that's just the explanation. Anyway, so the apocalypse has been happening for a while, and new nations are starting to form out of the apocalypse. And the nation that is starting to rebuild itself and acquire most power is called the New California Republic. And life is starting to get back to normal now, and inside the New California Republic, civilization is rebuilding itself. So here's my pitch. The characters are a group of normal, everyday citizens of the New California Republic, unexperienced with the outside world, unexperienced with like the outside world of the apocalypse. You've essentially lived a normal. They've essentially lived a normal life up to this moment, but a calamity happens, and it requires them to get across the country to deliver some sort of package. I haven't figured that. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. So it's about like characters like learning to survive just pretty much on their own for the first time. That's like the basic outline. It's about So what do you think? Yeah, exactly. I haven't figured it out. It's gonna, like, my thought process, it's like they have to deliver some package across the country, so it requires them to journey through like the irradiated wasteland. Would be the basic premise. Obviously, right. Because I always thought that would be a good premise for a Fallout game. Because basically that's... Because, like, Fallout has been developed... The NRC has been building up for a while. And I always thought it would be, like, a cool idea if eventually... Like, eventually you play a character who's lived their whole life in the NRC. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. I don't know. I think I like it. I'm going off of a... I don't know if you can see it, but I am going off of a reference picture, but... The fact that I'm sort of nailing it, I think. I've always liked the idea... I like the idea of putting, like, normal, everyday people into a situation. Instead of, like... You know, badasses who, like, are just, like, preternaturally gifted warriors who can, like, do everything. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know. This is the reference, if you're curious. Yeah, it is funny how we're a little bit off in communication. Her eye's a little bit off, I can tell. It's one of the... okay. Okay, so... Okay, you, there's this, like, chicken, and he's, like, he sees, like, something over on the other end of the road, and... thinks to himself, you know, I've spent my whole life on this side of the road. I've lived a small life here, unquestioning and with no desire to experience anything beyond. But today, for some reason, I yearn. I yearn for truth. I yearn for the unbridled freedom that the other side of the road calls to me. Whatever lies beyond my conventional little life surely must be grand. So the chicken cautiously and slowly makes his way across the road, each step underpinning a brand new feeling that he's never really experienced before. The chicken. You are being very rude, but that's cool. Wow, you're not trying to be, you're just very successful at it. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You were just being a dickhead. It's your natural position in the universe to be one. That's fine. You're not the first person I've ever experienced doing this little act. Let's see. Oh, funny. It's SpongeBob, but he's gangster. That's clever. That's really funny. I'm laughing so hard. Ah, ah, ah. You're really cool, man. You have cool tastes. Ah! Anyways. Are you still here, or am I going to have to kick you out? We can wait. Okay. Oh. 1 second. Also, you looking at your stuff, you seem vaguely homophobic. So, let me make you a mod. Anyways. Oh, you don't... Did that just make it awkward? I mean, looking at his material, seems to be a fan of well, memes, really funny memes that get 0 views, and vague homophobia. Oh, but you got a cute cat, buddy. Your cat is cute. There you go. Your cat is cute. That's an achievement. Hopefully this doesn't signal people to me, but we'll see. Yeah, we stand. We'll see. We'll see. What do you think? Do you think I gave the trolls too much ammo right there? I'm nervous. I gave the trolls too much ammo right there. Trolls, you should know after this I'm just gonna ban people. You know what's funny? You know, it's about that. I have been going to the gym. I have, you know, it's a funny thing because it's like I have started going to the gym. I am trying to get into shape. Yeah. I am trying to get into shape, but it's like a vengeance thing. I don't want to get into shape because they say, "Well, bro, why don't you just go to the fucking gym?" Because it's like because I don't want them to claim credit for it. You know? Like I'm doing it because I want to do it, not because they have obnoxiously barged in here and yelled something at me. Also, dude, your fucking like little avatar man is so fucking cool. Yeah. Like, it's so funny. You're so funny. Yeah. That's like the thing though. It's like I don't want them to feel like they helped me, because they did not fucking help me. They're not helping me in any way that I want. It's like I resisted cutting my hair for so long because people were like, "You should get a fucking haircut." I'm like, I'm not gonna get a fucking haircut because you told me to. And also, cool man. Since you decided to like really jump in on me here. I want to say, the fact that you can't get any fucking views for your shorts is pathetic as shit. It's deeply pathetic. Yeah. Anyways. It doesn't mean you're inherently a bad person. It just means nobody has any interest in anything you have to say. That's all it means. And nobody ever will. You take cheap shots at people, and maybe you think that's like, maybe you think you won at something. I don't know. Anyways. Anyways, I should stop having emotions because people can use that to people can use that to hit you pretty hard. It really are. I mean, the thing guys get is like, why don't you work out? Why don't you go to the gym? Because I'm lazy and I like video games. What the fuck do you think? Why do you think I haven't been going? Yeah. Why the fuck do you think I haven't been going? Because video games are a lot more fun. Anyways, I hope he's probably happy. We're talking about him. Anyways, what were we talking about? Fallout, right? Fallout. Or D&D. It'd be fun to do a, like, I don't know. After that kind of disastrous D&D campaign. I don't know. I got so, like, I don't know. Somebody wanted to quit. Yeah. Oh, that rules. I like that idea. I don't know. I'm just playing racquetball. That's all I'm doing at the moment. But it's better than nothing. I like the game of racquetball, by the way, Opus. I like playing it. It's fun to play. I enjoy doing it. Yeah. That's a cool idea. It's like I want to get healthier, but I don't want to get healthier because of them. That's like the problem. Like I don't like they have no like they and it's like if you get healthier, then they'll claim credit and be like proud of you. Proud, and it's like nothing would fill me with more like rage and shame than they're both essentially the same game. You just play them with different balls. Yeah, exactly. Racquetball, have you played squash before? Squash, racquetball, I mean, there's some minor difference. The basic difference is like, I would say racquetball is a lot easier. It's more bounce. The balls are more bouncy. The ball is more bouncy. Yeah. Have you ever played pickleball? Oh, fuck off. Really? You're gonna... OBS seems to be disconnected. 1 second. Okay, there we go. No, not you. The OBS says it disconnected for a second. You're probably gonna see that in... that's probably gonna pop up for you in a sec. Pickleball is pretty fun. It's kind of like the midway point between, say, yeah. Oh no, it's OBS. That's, yeah, no. I'll be better next time. Sorry, I hadn't experienced trolling in a bit. That was a fresh new experience. I forgot how, like, trolls really love, like, just hanging around streams on YouTube. Anyways. And how offensive it is to see dudes who are over plus size people on here, I guess. I don't know. Anyways. I hope I'm... It's not like I'm... I don't know. I've gotten angry at people before, so... What we're talking about. Oh, right. Spider-Man. Vaguely racist Spider-Man. Anyways. Kind of wish they had just made their own superhero movie, but then again, they wouldn't have got the $100,000 that they did to make it through Kickstarter, so, you know, probably would have been pretty racist. Right, don't you wish there was, like, just a Star Trek... I don't know. I've always wanted to do like an intentionally cheap like sci-fi movie, or maybe just a short. It probably would be kind of obnoxious to do it much longer. But I've always wanted to do like an intentionally cheap like short sci-fi thing, where it's like the props are really low quality. Like the props and the filming are really low quality, but everything else is really. But we take the story real seriously. Kind of like as a reference to the there's this show that I really like called well there's Italian Spider-Man. Have you ever heard of Italian Spider-Man? It's not real Spider-Man. It's a parody of Italian exploitation movies where they would like Italian this is not a known thing, but not well known. But Italy used to like doing really like cheapo superhero movies. Before superheroes were even like, it had really entered the major consciousness. They would have these like cheapo superhero movies all the time. And there was also like there was rip-offs of Spider-Man, and then like there's a cheapo there's a Turkish movie called The Three Big Men, and it's about Captain America teaming up with luchador wrestler El Santo to defeat evil Spider-Man. It's hilarious in the very particular way that Turkish movies at the time were quite funny. And anyways, it's kind of a parody of those, like those kind of fake, those kind of like cheapo Italian knockoff movies. And I've always thought it would be fun to try and do like a Star Trek thing like that, where it's like, there's a really good show called what's it called? They did a great show called Danger 7. Here, Danger 7, which is like an out-and-out parody of like 60s spy shows. I love it so much. Is it Danger 4-7? I think it's Danger 4-7. 1 second. What is this movie called? What is this show called? I thought it was Danger Force. Italian Spider-Man. They were going to include Italian Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. Oh, we missed it. Damn it! Damn it! This is the trailer. If you're curious. 1 second. So I kind of want. I'd like to do something like that. With one God, I'm so bad with words today. One fascination I had also is like there's all these horrible like Conan ripoffs that occurred that I thought would be kind of, I don't know. But it always gets into the thing. Then I try and make it more serious, and then I screw it up because I get too into it. Watch that. It's really funny. It's these Australian guys kind of making fun of this trend. Then I had the thought, like, I should do, like, a cheap fantasy movie. Like, a cheapo fantasy movie where it's just... Because, like, something that's been, like, kind of lost... something that's been, like, lost because, like, Lord of the Rings and... you know, just the history of, like, cinema, is the fact that, like, fantasy movies used to be kind of cheap B movies in a lot of ways. Where they would, like, just film people walking through, like, old forests and stuff. And, like, a lot of times what they would do is, like, they would just kind of go to England and... or something, because there's a bunch of old ruins you could like conceivably film in a medieval like medieval town or something, because it's easy, or like you would go to like somewhere like Jordan. And I always thought like I want to do something like that where we like. And then, of course, I'm a sort of... I always get too ambitious for it. And I'm like, you know what I'll do? I'll build an actual fantasy village. I'll buy some land and I'll build an actual fantasy village. And then we'll film a movie in my fantasy village. I don't know. It'd be fun to try something like that. That's why I tried writing that reverse isekai thing about an elf that comes to our world, because I'm like, okay, I could do a fantasy about fantasy characters coming to our world. But there was also these, like, they would do, like, these bad Conan ripoffs. And what they would do is they would just have, like, shirtless people wandering through the desert, getting into random fights all the time. And I always thought that was kind of funny. That's a funny... Anyways. Oh, speaking of that, just random sad thing. The wrestler Bray Wyatt, or Wyndham Rotunda, died. I think yesterday. And I just wanted to say I really liked him, as I really liked his stuff. He was 36, and he was very young, and it was very, and it's heartbreaking that we lost him that young. And I just wanted to say that I know my tribute is not one anybody was waiting for, but it is one that I just wanted to bring up briefly, as he was a cool dude, and he did cool stuff, and it'll be sad that and I feel sorry for his family. Yeah, it is, right? And his wife just had a kid not that long ago. It's heartbreaking. Which is, like, just so bad. He was 36. He got, you know what happened? He got COVID. He got COVID and he died, and the COVID exacerbated a heart issue he had, and he died. Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. I don't know if anybody here follows wrestling. I don't think anybody here follows wrestling, but I just wanted to say those words. Offer. Terry Funk also died. Terry Funk was one of the great wrestlers of all time, but Terry Funk was, he was 88. He lived a full life, and it's sad. It sucks, right? People die so young. When people die young like that, it sucks when anybody dies, young or old. I love Terry Funk. Me and Issa used to have a joke that Terry Funk was her uncle, which is kind of dark, but I don't know. I think he would appreciate that, being a wrestler, that we created a bit of kayfabe for her. Wrestlers make up fake families all the time, by the way. That's a recurring theme. Yeah, death is sad. Fuck if I know it. Anyways. Try not to think about the death in my life. What happened? It happens. And I can't imagine being young and losing somebody like that. I can't imagine being... my dad died. Did I mention that? That my dad passed away last year? Yeah, that was a real shitty time. And still a shitty time. But it's like, you just, I don't know. I think about that a lot. It happens. Danger 5, it was called Danger 5. The older you get, Opus, the... Oh, we're fine. You know, it'll... You know, she was the love... You know, he was the love of her life, so it'll always be... It'll always be hard that he's no longer with us, and... But she's a strong person, and she's gonna. We're both dealing with it, I think, as best as we can. So it's, you know, like, people like expect us to be like one thing like she really hated was how like people expected her to be like this like broken lump of a person, and she's never been like that. So, and that's, you know, neither was I. Like, we're not those sorts of people. We're sad and we miss him dearly, but we're also, you know, life has to go on. But it's just, it's hard. Yeah, there's a real trite sympathy that people want you to do. And, I was just thinking about that, I don't know, it's just, there's, I don't know. The fact that Bray Wyatt died, and he had this wrestling partner and friend, and they were part of the same table called the Wyatt family, and he Luke Bryant was another guy who he was friends with, and they had wrestled together, and he died so recently. He died young too. I don't know. I had kind of hoped it's probably not. There's the thing that wrestlers would die so young, and I had hoped in some ways that just maybe it had been solved a little bit, but. It seems like, I don't know, the COVID thing, though, I'm going to say it. The COVID thing seems like it may have been a case of he most likely caught it while performing in front of people. So this seems to be a wrestling thing. Luke Bryant's death was just kind of a bizarre, random occurrence that happened. He had an undiagnosed heart problem that nobody had caught, and he just, passed away quickly. Anyways, sorry to talk about sad things. I just think about their kids. He had two kids. He had 4 kids, and 2 of them were toddlers, just babies, so. Anyways. Let's talk about happier things. Fantasy novels? You want to talk about fantasy novels? How I totally should write one? I want to write one. Anyway, so, man, I wish I didn't have such an ironclad rule about showing people. Well, a trailer should be fine. By the way, if you're looking for good castles, I'm going to throw this out there. Good reference pictures for castles and stuff. Germany. Go with German castles. Germany has the exact sort of castle that that you want usually. Sicily. Maybe. I don't know. I like working with people. Well, partly I'm thinking maybe it would be fun to do like a I get nervous working with people. Just, you know, talking and being friends with people is one thing, but like trying to do a creative project with people can like really alienate. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, friendships have been ruined and ended because of like trying to do collabs. And then I always get really nervous with that concept like that. I've attempted a few. Well, okay, I'll say this. The problem usually is this. Wait, you've collaborated with somebody before. You're collaborating with Aqua. The problem I've usually encountered is like you have a creative vision, you have an idea, I have an idea, and it doesn't work, and you get into this big, very emotional argument, and like people who are the closest of friends, who were like hyper close, loved each other, suddenly grow angry and bitter. Yeah. And so I get I just don't want to, like, I get scared doing that with people. And plus, I'm persnickety about things, but I don't know. Do you want to talk about an idea? You know? I'm used to doing things my way, and I don't know. I never want to hurt anybody. Do you know what I mean? I never want to hurt people. I just want... And I guess it's a me thing. Well, it's not a me thing. I think I'm a good collaborator, but I've seen other people attempt to collaborate, and boy, oh god, do they just get angry with each other. And it's like it's always scared me off from that, because it's like, you know, like they were close friends and they liked each other and they insisted on working with each other, and then it's like, you know, just yell, you know, suddenly it's like, well, your fucking hack idea is like fucking... I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck happened to you guys? Yeah. Well, thank you. I don't know, maybe. Oh, thank you. I had a thought once about basing a, I don't know. We could talk about... I don't know. I don't want to like tie you down to anything, but maybe we could talk about ideas. Like, just approach it like cautiously. So that's always scared. That I don't know if you can tell, that was a very specific experience that happened with one person. It's always scared me after that. I guess I also just find at the end of... No, not with me. I was another group of people I knew that their whole friendship collapsed because of that. I don't know. Yeah. It does sound hard to go through, and it was very awkward to be on the sidelines of that when I heard people like when that happened. It made that whole day very, very awkward. That you had these two people who just like hated each other suddenly. Yeah. I know. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I have a nervousness around this, but I mean, I sort of do actually want to clap with people. But I always find that the other thing I always find is that people are never as passionate about it once they talk about it. Okay. I'm gonna draw a castle in the background. I'm not great at... Screw it. I'm just gonna draw more mountains. Do you have any ideas? Okay, let's... do you have any ideas for fantasy books? Anything we talk about, we're just... okay, should we... Let's try and brainstorm something. Okay. That is a good question. What type of fantasy were you thinking? What type of fantasy do you want to do? Like, do you want to do like traditional, like quest-based adventure fantasy? I'd be up for that. I'd be up for something like that. We could do urban. Let's do an urban. I'm up for urban. It's about a okay. It's about a vampire and a vampire boy. It's about a vampire girl and a vampire boy, and they really like each other. I know. Revolutionary urban fantasy. Yeah. Okay, tell me about it. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen a... I don't know how a co-DMing would work, really. I have been curious in trying a co-DMing idea at one point, too. Yeah. Okay, tell me your story. If all that ends from this is I help inspire you to write something, I would feel very good. Okay, cover. Okay, let's see. Tell me some of the bits and pieces, because I've had an idea for an urban fantasy story for a while that I haven't really been able to figure out how to do. And maybe these two ideas could mash up. Okay, so can I tell you this idea? I actually had this idea for what I really wanted to do a modern D&D setting, but I wanted to change it. Like, I wanted to do a D&D setting taking place in the modern day, but I didn't. But I needed to change. So I had this idea of okay, so. Oh! It was just a normal fantasy. Okay. So I may have told you this idea before, but it's about an app. Okay, so it's the modern day, and adventuring is dead as a concept, and everybody, it's our everyday boring life. But inexplicably, there's an app that starts to pop up. That's like Lyft or TaskRabbit, but instead of like you just picking up people or doing odd jobs, the jobs are to help defeat monsters or paranormal entities, or like defeat paranormal problems that have been popping up around town. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like a modern, like an app. Nobody knows, right? It's a pretty decent idea. I thought. But I could never do anything past that. All I had was a premise, and I can never think of anything else besides that. Exactly. But like inexplicably, like the app leads to like modern day, like somehow like monsters like from like D&D are starting to sink into are starting to appear in the modern day, and it's your job to. And whatever player group pops up, it's their job to solve it. And it's been left inexplicably to, yeah. Exactly. I kind of conceived, it may be good to try this out initially with the D&D. Like, because this would be perfect one-shot material, right? Like, that's what I kind of, like, I was kind of hoping to build it up as, like, a one, like, so instead of, like, having one long quest, like, I was kind of, how, like, sometimes, TV shows, they have, like, like long season arcs, but I was kind of hoping for this to be like sort of we could do it like a monster of the week thing. Okay. Ask away. I haven't figured out much of this world, but by the way, the ultimate villain would probably be the app itself. Okay. So one idea I had is that it's only appearing to. So the way people are learning about it is it runs exclusively like at. It's like only people who have been up like late at night or just like watching TV or random YouTube videos. It appears, and like seemingly that's the only time it really appears to people is like exceptionally late at night, and you just see like random ads for it. And nobody knows where it comes from or who's like making it. That would hopefully be the like. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Detecting detecting the exact sort of people that would try and sign up for something like this. Yeah, that's the thing I struggle with, like, what's the overall... Like, I think I would initially just kind of start out with... The hope would be to start out with, like, just kind of unconnected stories of the week instead, you know? Like, but with kind of structure it like a TV show, like every... Like, it could be a collection of, like, unconnected short stories, and then slowly we start adding more and more, like, sinister things. It's partly inspired by like like more modern like sci-fi shows and stuff where it's like there's like surreal things going on in the background that are hard to explain. But I agree. I have trouble figuring out exactly what they're doing. Yeah. Come play the newest in live RPGing. Like, are you a desperate loser? Have you always wanted to live a life of excitement or adventure, or are you being besieged by a strange paranormal monster? Use our specialty app, blank. Oh, I was thinking of calling it something like Quest, but like. And so I thought that would be fun because it would be like a thing I get tired of in like fantasy is like it's always like a collection of like the best like the went straight for. Well, I'll say this, Opus. This idea is partly also inspired by me doing these like these gig economy app things, and I didn't do them because I like dreamed of doing them. I did them because I really wanted some money and I was desperate to get something. Quest, like Quest or something. I don't know. Like, you know, all these apps have like just like low, like, do you want a quest? Do you want an adventure? And then, like, quest would be spelled with, like... You would spell, like, quest wrong. You would spell it, like, Q. like W. You would spell it like just Q. ST Quest. You know, cute. Okay, be honest. I'm super dedicated to this idea I've written nothing for. Yeah. I don't know. Like, who would be good? I don't know. Who would be good characters in this? Like, I was thinking somebody like. Have you ever seen Futurama? I guess when I can say it out loud, I say, yeah. Oh, sure, we can throw that out as a reference. Have you ever seen Futurama? Like maybe somebody like Fry? Like a thing it would need to be, I think, is like Everyman. It can't be like fantasy, like standard like fantasy good looking. Well, I mean, you know, they can be good looking, but they can't be like supermodel, you know, supermodel good looking. Like I was thinking of that. Did you ever see that show Shadowhunters? It's not great. It's not a good show, but the main character is a guy named Fry. I mean, you've probably seen. Let me see. I don't know. I don't want like. Partly Yeah, the main MC. I was trying to think of like just eccentric people I've met, like either like in lifts or like in Ubers or lifts or doing stuff. This is.
Wait, I thought we were buying our iPhones online. We are online. But I thought the mom store was across town.
It is across town.
But I thought. Stop thinking, Fry.
Anyways.
I feel like a mindless zombie. I wish I knew how long we've been waiting.
Something like that. You know, like standard everyday loser guy. I don't know. What else would you need? I'm trying to think of. Have you met any particularly like eccentric people while doing? Have you ever taken a rideshare before? Sometimes I don't know what you do. Exactly. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like people I've met who you know, types of people, like weird, like strange people I've met doing this. I met a guy. I met a great guy in Austin. I took a lift one time. I met this great guy. I tried to like write him down because he was like such an eccentric character. Big Jimmy, who is it? Jerry Garcia fan. He was a huge Jerry Garcia fan. He talked about how he was like an older kind of hippie guy. He was very proud that he was Latino, and he was very proud that Jerry Garcia was Latino. So he liked talking about the Grateful Dead a lot. He also liked. That wouldn't be like, I don't know. He probably was a little bit high. I imagine he's had some marijuana before. And he liked talking to me about the hotel had overbooked me, and he was kind of joking that, yeah, I got screwed over by the hotel overbooking me, and they just sent me to a shitty new hotel. Anyways. And he talked about And then he talked a lot about how awesome Jerry Garcia was, like a real like kind of character like that. That he wouldn't be like a bad like. Let's see. Just trying to base this around real people means it'll be a little bit more diverse, which I'm perfectly happy with. Let's see. Who are just like some eccentric people that you've met in your day? Let's see. Who else I met? I met a, let's see. I met a girl who, listen, in retrospect, when you think a lot about, like, Austin people, a lot of them are probably high when you really think about it. Like, oh, she was also probably high. Anyways. Okay, but like, what type of people like would be like what type of people do you think would do stuff like that? Yeah, Carl. I should watch the new season of Futurama. It came out recently, and I've just been lazy and haven't seen it yet. Yeah. But it was Sir... He called himself... Oh, that's hilarious. Was he like a British guy? Like, was he actually knighted, or was he just like a weird, a strange guy who insisted on calling himself Sir? Either or, that would be funny. Oh, really? But he was like Sir like, bruh, like, I'm Sir Carl. Oh, his legal name was Sir Carl. Like, oh, these are terrible, evil people. These are evil, like, parents that have ruined this child's life. That's hilarious. I love that. Well, that could be a guy. Was he, oh, how best to word this? Was he, oh, was the fact that he talked, was he like, how inappropriate, was it very inappropriate that he talked like that? Was he did he share my skin complexion? Because was he white? Oh, okay. Because I was like, either this is a very lame white kid, or this is a very, with terrible hippie parents, or a kid possibly feeling out of place and trying to assert something. Yeah, because that Yeah, because that changes it just a little bit. So he was trying to like prove that he was still tough. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, who would you think, like, what type of people do you think would like sign up for a program like this? Kind of weirdo losers, obviously. No. It's just because the way I was picturing him as like a really lame like white kid who was trying to talk street, but no, that changes it. That changes the because Sir Carl, yeah, nerds obviously. Like, who do you, let's see. Yeah. Definitely people with no time constraints. So well, let's think of it in this way. Let's try and find like those people like okay, what's the standard D&D party? Right? Like what do you need for a standard D&D party? What's like the cliche D&D party usually? You have a thief, you have an archer, you have a wizard, and you have a warrior. Yeah, and a warrior and a cleric usually. Those are like that's the 5-man band usually. So you need so let's break down exactly what. So let's break down exactly what those 5 things are actually doing within like storylines. The thief is usually the one who can scout ahead. Is usually like the scout ahead sort of guy, sort of person who like figures out where all the danger is. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out the archetypes first, and then we can kind of assign characters. The warrior is, the toughest and the most defensive. So, like, in a fight, they'll go first. They'll be on the front line. Archer is the sit-back sort of guy. Is the sit back and fire from the distance in the shadows. And the wizard brings the extra, like... Yeah, power. Maybe not kids. I would say adults. Let's keep this legal adults. Just I think a little bit like a thought process I had is this is in some ways about people trying to like go out on their own a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of my experience of like this was like my first real consistent job that I did. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Wizard are lore guys, Wizard are smart, and Wizard provides spells. Okay. So let's see. Now we need kind of like normal everyday people to fill those roles. See, this is what I fell into. It's like, okay, so what do you like? Who would you put? I mean, like the archer could be. Let's see. You could have like a. You could have like a craze. I don't know how fun that would be. I was thinking like you could have like a kind of a crazed gun nut a little bit, maybe for like the archer guy, like somebody like a doomsday prepper who's obsessed with the end of the world. Maybe you need some like, okay, who are the fit nerds usually? Okay, you need somebody conceivably like who would be up late at night, maybe have a little bit too much free time, and also be sort of desperately looking for a purpose in life. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking karate person, though, is my thought. I know a lot. I've met karate people in my life. A lot of them are kind of are secretly big nerds. Though, like I've met like karate people in my life. Like, listen, half of the reason anybody like gets super into like fighting like martial arts and stuff is because is because they're obsessed with like anime. Is because they're like obsessed with anime and stuff like that, and they want to learn how to do that stuff in real life. Right? That fits. Known a lot. Like, what if it's like, okay, let's make the fighter like a green belt at like not a black belt, like a like red belt or something at like Taekwondo. Have you ever seen The Office? Like, it's sort of like a Dwight character who's like weirdly into karate and stuff, who's like into karate but is maybe not so good on the personal level, and maybe relates more to like just anime and kung fu movies. Have you ever been to a Ren Fair? Yeah, sort of like maybe a younger, a little bit nicer Dwight, but definitely somebody who relates more to like the. I guess I'm sort of implying that we should maybe make him somewhat on the spectrum, but yeah, exactly. But like somebody who relates sort of maybe more to the rigid rules of like and easy to understand rankings of like the kung fu, like the karate world. Yeah. Yes. Well, I think if we're gonna have a modern day fantasy, you definitely need like somebody who does that like Ren Fair stuff. This is turning out quite good, actually. I'm quite proud of this. I'm not keeping any consistent lighting, but whatever. Yeah. What if they like play the wizard at a Ren Fair, but they maybe have more ability? Yeah. They may be more legitimate than they realize they are. Or they're the ones who bring like a lot of flash grenades with them. Because I've seen like Renfest. Okay. Karate Dwight, Renfest. God, I can't say words. Renfest Wizard. Okay, we need a thief. Well, I've seen like what people do is like they have these like flat fire paper things that they'll do that makes it look like they have magic spells. You know? So it's like they go like... And that shit can ignite if you're not careful with it. That's a good question. Yeah, you need somebody... Like, you need the cleric. You need some... Yeah, that's a good question. Well, maybe we could just stick to 4 people. But, okay. So we got the fighter. That's kind of Karate Dwight. We've got the wizard. That's the Renfest wizard. You do need sort of a normal straight man to kind of play off of the play off the more eccentric personalities, you know. Usually you give that to the fighter, but Dwight's the fighter. Exactly. Well, we could have somebody who's like a healer who maybe like their healing strategy is to just give people like a lot of alcohol. Like, man, like, you know, it's good, man. All you need is like, just like you drink this and like put some aloe vera on it. It should be fine. Like their strategy for healing people is just to like tape up their arm. Like, no, it works perfectly good, man. Like, no, I got a bunch of duct tape. You can just like tape that shit up. Good as new. Put some Windex on it. Fixes all that crap up. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Well, that seems like a criminal of some sort. Opus. That probably should be like our thief character. Like he's a guy who like somebody who has like connections to the like somebody who has connections to the underworld, and the underworld is like low level like drug dealers who can like score pot and maybe who can score like marijuana and maybe mushrooms. And like, yeah, I like buy it from a guy who has like a gun. But like in the land of the losers, the low level pothead is the guy who has the criminal connections, no matter how lame that might be. Okay. And what was the other thing I said we needed? We needed... Yeah. Yeah. Man, you can't... Just fix me... No, it works. It works. Look. Look. Your arm's okay now. Like, I wrapped it up. I put Windex on it. Kills 99% of the germs. Yeah, okay, we need a ranger and a healer. You know, we're finding types of characters, even though it doesn't seem like there should be. In the modern world, it turns out we can find like equivalent people. Yes. I was also thinking a magician. No, but you need like more realistic people. Like meeting somebody who does like wizard cosplay and maybe has a strange amount. Let's see. Then you need ranger. Yeah, ranger is hard. I'm thinking like an NRA guy, but I don't know. I don't want to give. Did you ever watch King of the Hill? I was thinking somebody maybe like Dale Gribble, a little bit. My dad had a friend. This is a real thing that my dad's friend would do. It's not a terrible idea, actually, but anywhere he would go, he would pack a sock with a baseball in it. And he said that was always like he could use that in a pinch as a weapon if he needed it. You know, like one of the things you want to give like the nose, like you have to give the nose like a shadow. But the problem with giving a nose a shadow is it may look like a Hitler mustache. You know, it might be fun to try and like because I was thinking, like, the only guy who does, like, ranged attacks still in the modern day is, like, kind of weirdo, like, hunter guys or something. You know, like, guys who go out, like, with... and fire... Like, who does, like, archer... The problem is, like, the exact sort of people... Like, you kind of want, like, normal, everyday people, and, like, archery... Having somebody who does, like, archery is, like, well, that would be the exact sort of person that would... Like, the person who does archery would be somebody who is, like, way already into this sort of stuff. And, I don't know, you kind of want it, I don't know, it's not that... I feel like you should only have, like, one character who's, like, super knowledgeable about fantasy. Having two characters kind of... Of course you don't have to do this idea. What about anybody else in the chat? That's just you and me, huh? It's weird because it says there's 4 people here, but it's only you. Well, I'm gonna... Oh. One second, let me check something. I don't know. Oh, it's 3. Well, thank you for ever giving me that like. If I can get 2 more follows, I would be up to 800, and that would make me feel good. Anyway, sorry. It's probably getting late. I'm probably getting a little tired. I do have to travel tomorrow, but... doesn't matter exactly when I leave. Just that I have... Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. That was bad. Just that I have to leave. One second. Yeah, just get rid of. That's weird. Anyway, sorry. Tired a little bit. One second. Are you getting a little tired? I'm getting a little tired. Might call it. Oh, I should mention this. There's a chance I might be appearing on another Twitch stream in a day or two. I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, I'm starting to get pretty tired. The energy sort of dropped out of me. But, yeah, so, what was I going to say? So, the improv school I'm going to, they often stream a lot of stuff that they do on their channel, on Twitch. And I'm having my recital there in a day or two. Not sure when exactly. I kind of wish they would tell me, but and if there is, I'll post it into my Discord and stuff that I will be on. I'll be on. And listen, almost nobody watches their streams, so if like 2 or 3 people show up to watch me specifically, that would be a big deal and would help maybe help me in future like notability with these people. Just throwing that out there. Okay. Opus, thank you again. And but I'm very tired, and I think I'm gonna go get some shut eye now, if that's okay. Have a good day, everybody. I will. I'll send it to you tomorrow. But have a good night, everybody. Opus and the one other person watching, apparently. Okay. Night.